all of these images are generated using AI without touching a single photo editor. All of these were done by a platform called Artflow AI. Prior to this, we used a method called Dream Booth that allowed you to train your face in the model itself, create checkpoints, and then using those checkpoints, you would be able to generate faces of yourself or avatars of yourself. But after Artflow, this has gotten way simpler, and you can generate things like these by going through non-code approach. So basically, all you have to do is upload your images, and the platform takes care of all of it. The great part about the platform is that it not only generates images, but it also generates videos with your face as an actor, and per credit allows you to do 4 image generations, which kind of equates to say 400 images in the free plan, which is huge. Things like videos, then you can generate 1 minute videos for like 25 credits, which is great, right? So effectively that's what we're going to be looking at in today's lecture video. So I'm really excited for you guys to try it out, but before that I'm going to show you how to set up Image Studio with your avatar. As a part of the free plan, you can train one free avatar, which should be enough for the use case that we're trying to pursue right now. So let's move on with the video. So setting this up is straightforward. First, you have to sign in. So ensure that you go through the sign up process itself. The sign up is straightforward, and post this, you would land on a screen like this. Now you can go ahead and click on character builder and choose create your AI character. Here, go ahead and fill in your details. YT is actually very important. So what you put in there is going to be your prompt name. So @YT will basically refer to the model that you've created, right? So it's important that you choose the name that you're comfortable with. YT was available, and so I used it. Now go ahead and customize these details and upload 20 pictures of yourself. Now it's important that the pictures that you upload are clear headshots and not the full body shots, and I'm just going to show that to you in a second. So now I'm uploading a couple of pictures here, and you'll see how these are like clear headshots and not like full body shots. You can have some full body shots in there, but I'd recommend using clear headshots because on the right side you will see that there is like an acceptable criteria. Now the minute you start training with those images, note that this is gonna take very long, which is exactly why I recorded this up front, and I'm just adding audio over this video now, is that it will take 1 to 2 hours. So just keep the training on, go back, take a break, and come back when the training is done. So the model is now ready. You can see the training is completed, and what I'm about to show you will kind of blow your mind. So if you've seen my image generation tutorial for the previous one where I used Pinocchio to generate image using just one image, the generations weren't up to that mark or up to the expectation that at least I had. But look at this. These are some of the free samples that have been generated using this model, and they look insane. Like, I mean, some of these are not so good. Like, this one is not so great. But you look at this one, and you look at this one, and all of these seem very realistic. And now the great part about training your own character is, not only can you just generate images like these, but you can also generate videos for your characters. So your face can be an actor in a scene, which I don't think a lot of platforms enable you to do, right? And which is exactly why I love the platform. You can see you get like 100 credits, I think, every day. Let me just quickly check that. So you can see 1 minute of video from story costs you 25 credits. 1 minute of video from Video Studio costs 50 credits. And per image generation, you need 1 credit. And it seems that you get like 100 credits every month. So you can generate like 100 free images without actually paying for the platform to start off with. There are obviously free plans here that you can consider buying if you think that this is something that you would use more frequently. For me, I think while I will use this for image generation, there is a great scope for me to use this tool for, say, thumbnail generation and stuff like that. So in order to generate the images, all you have to do is click on Image Studio and create a new image. And this time you have to select the actor that you generated for yourself. So you select the portrait or the general image. We're going to be sticking with general here. And then there is the option for director mode, which allows you to kind of control the position of the character, the way they look. So more like control net in a way. I'm not going to be doing all of that right now. I'm just going to say headshot of YT. I'm going to keep it very simple. Realistic LinkedIn profile photo. So let's see what kind of face we get. So there is an option to also add the actor, which is exactly what we want to do. So we select the actor from here. Then given that the actor is now selected, I don't know if it will show up somewhere, but it seems the option is disabled. So I'm guessing that adding the actor kind of automatically selects the actor. You can also add more styles beyond just cinematic. So there is fantasy, digital art, sci-fi, horror, a bunch of things that you can choose from. So you can also choose multiple styles. So let's just say that we do a very realistic generation, which is sci-fi cinematic, and then we also have added the actor here. You can see basically when you select the actor, it kind of adds photo of at YT in the prompt. So this becomes redundant. So what you need to do here is just add basic prompt with respect to what you want to generate, and then at the rate YT is something that will be automatically added once the image is generated. Let's just wait for a few seconds before the image generation is done. One thing I love about the platform is that I didn't have to do all of this locally. All of this was done on the cloud using the AI. So I didn't really have to invest so much time in the training process itself, which I don't think a lot of tools allow you to do as of today. So definitely one of the good tools that I have found specifically when it comes to avatar generation space in general. And I'm going to be trying to share a link with you potentially with a discount in case you're looking to buy this platform. You can see the image generation is now completed. You know, wait a few seconds to see if the images show up. So the images are now generated, and I think this is one of the best. Even if you look at the older models, the Dream Booth based training that I've done, this model does really good generations. Especially this one. This one is something that you can directly kind of extract from here. Like if you use tools like Canva, you can kind of crop the face from here and use this as a thumbnail for your maybe YouTube videos if you're making, or in general. Sounds looks very realistic that way. I think this one had some sort of glasses going on, but it kind of disappeared midway. But you know, that's exactly why it generates 4 images, because it knows that the final generation is probably going to, you know, the final set of generations may look different from the one that is really expected by the user, right? So let's try a more simpler generation, and we'll use, let's say, horror as a style, and we're just going to be putting photo of YT, and you know, keep this very open-ended, or maybe add like Halloween as one of the things that we would want to see in the image. Now I am really interested to see if the paid plan kind of allows you to do, you know, more quicker generations, because this one kind of takes time. So you can say commercial use with attribution. So if you're using images for commercial purposes, then you definitely kind of have to be a part of the paid plan. You can see it's right now almost near half the price, and you get like 300 credits per month, which is like 300 videos generated per month. And per credit, you generate like 4 images. So you can generate 1200 images with this plan. From this plan also you can generate like 400. So if you don't have crazy amount of usage, only primarily looking at say image generation, then the free plan may be something that you should stick to, at least to start off with. And then eventually when you feel that there is a need to move on to a more paid based plan, then you can move on to the paid plan per se. Definitely it seems there's an option to kind of jump to say a premium plan and then speed up the generation of the images if waiting is not something you'd love to do. Plus you don't also see watermarks when you're doing on a paid plan, right? So if you go to the images, so let me just quickly, seems this is stuck weird, right? So if you go to the images that have been generated before, you will find that there are watermarks on the image. You can see there is one here, and it will appear almost on all images, primarily because you've used the free plan. But if you are someone who would want to generate images without really watermark and waiting time, then I think going the paid route may be ideal for you. There are also some of the models that you can choose from, and these are some of the horror based generations that it has done. I mean, it's not too bad. Like if you look at these images, I hadn't expected it to do perfect generations, but the ones that are generated right now aren't too bad either. So if you want images to look a bit more realistic, an ideal style would be to use things like digital art. That way the generation looks relatively realistic compared to how it would look when you actually generate like cinematic or realistic images. Let's say photo of YT as a cowboy. Let's see what kind of image we are able to generate out. And the images are ready. So if you look at some of these images, it's not a headshot per se, but the generations aren't bad overall. So this one looks good as well. If you want to specifically generate say a headshot, then you would say headshot realistic. And plus this is digital art, right? So if you would want to go cinematic, you would go ahead and select the cinematic. That way, you know, the more fine-tuned your prompt is, the cleaner or better the generation is aligned to the image itself. So there's a whole video on the image prompting or image prompt generation added in the comments. So if you're interested, feel free to check that video out if you're trying to learn how image prompting works. And it talks about all the elements that you need in place in order to generate like a perfect image that you have in your head, and then compose it to machine. So whenever you're generating the image, basically you're communicating what's in your head and telling the machine to kind of put all of that together. So it makes sense to kind of at least mention the important components that you want in the image. So you can see these are some of the headshots that are generated now, and these look way more realistic. I am a little bit more concerned when it comes to the glasses, because images that I had uploaded had some sort of glasses included, but the final generations don't have them added. So maybe that's also something that we'll have to add in the prompt itself. Say, so if you add a keyword like glasses, it will also add an element. Now, the reason this happens is the model is trained on your face and the characteristics of the face, while glass is like a cosmetic item for the model and will only be included in case you actually want it to appear in the image. The only weird part is that the initial dream boot training that I had done, I did not necessarily mention or specify glasses per se, but the generation itself automatically added that cosmetic item. So maybe the difference in how the training is done now versus how the training was done in the dream booth model. I'm 100% sure, or to some extent sure, that this current platform is also utilizing some components of the dream boot training that used to happen in the past, but it's using stable diffusion XL to generate the final images, which is why the images look way more realistic in the first place. And this is probably going to be the final generation for the video itself. So let's just hope this one looks relatively better compared to the ones that we previously. You can see the images are now ready, and these one looks relatively better. And you can see the minute you mention glasses or a cosmetic item, it kind of appears in the image. This one looks relatively closer to how my face is. Obviously the glasses are different, but the generation looks very, very good. It's way better than what I had expected when I first started working on this, especially this one. This one looks very, very close to how my glasses are, and this one looks very realistic. So I hope you're able to kind of test this out for yourself, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the Q&A section. I'm so excited for you to try it out, and feel free to ping your images on Discord group. And likewise, if you have any questions, drop those there as well. See you guys in the next one.